Amsterdam, where tulips bloom, bicycles roam, and apparently spontaneous pogroms break out just in time for a Europa League match between Ajax Amsterdam and Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Another riot on the streets of Amsterdam. Youth claiming solidarity with Palestinians attack a tram in a suburb of the capital, setting it on fire, smashing windows and yelling abusive language.
The latest gathering looked more like a twisted game of tag, where a select group got the exclusive opportunity to shout, "Free Palestine" on demand. And this wasn't just any old protest. This was Amsterdam, the city where Anne Frank hid from the Nazis, and only 2 days shy of the anniversary of Kristallnacht, no less. The timing is, let's say, impeccable. Just like in the 1940s, Jews are hiding in Amsterdam today as well, but this time from Islamists. Dutch police assured everyone that the game had been perfectly calm, concluding without a hitch, until it wasn't. As the evening wore on, trouble started brewing across the city in what one might call a light sprinkling of mob violence. Local authorities downplayed it with phrases like clashes and skirmishes, but the scenes on social media showed a rather intense workout session. Mobs of pro-Palestinian supporters, some kindly opting to wear face coverings for anonymity, chasing and attacking Jewish fans. Both men and women caught in the fray were treated to the classic Amsterdam tourist experience, with a twist of course. Punches were thrown, kicks delivered, and in an extra dash of multicultural bonding, some were even ordered to chant "Free Palestine."
I give you my money.
Free Palestine now! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
How quaint. By the way, if you're annoyed by the blurred videos, I apologize. YouTube doesn't let me show these violent clips, which interestingly, the Amsterdam authorities don't even consider violent. If you'd like to see uncensored videos, consider becoming a member or patron on patreon.com/HarusSultan, where you'll get early access before they're released to the public. Or you can also buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/HarusSultan. But above all, the best way to support this channel is by picking up a Harry Salt t-shirt or hoodie. Proceeds help me improve both the quality and increase the quantity of my content. So head over to harrysalt.com. Now let's get back to Amsterdam, the city of bicycles and canals. As if the impromptu street battles weren't enough, these activists decided to spice things up a bit by conducting what looked suspiciously like door-to-door hotel raids, searching for Jews. Because nothing says a night out in Amsterdam is complete without a hunt for people based on their Jewish faith, right? In one of the videos, there's a scene so wholesome, it practically belongs in a tourist ad. 4 men trying to enter a hotel, allegedly checking to see if any guests were flying Israeli colors. Meanwhile, 5 people received VIP treatment at the local hospital and were sent home with a clean bill of health, while another 30 walked away with minor injuries. The sort of travel souvenir you'd rather forget. But who's keeping track of numbers when you're busy being chased through the streets? One particularly cinematic clip shows a man already unconscious being stomped on repeatedly. Amsterdam's tourism board might want to consider including that in the next campaign. Visit Amsterdam History, Culture, and Public Beatdowns. Ofak Ziv, a Maccabi fan, recounted his post-game exit to the press. As he was casually strolling away from the stadium, someone thoughtfully lobbed a rock at his head. "I'm very scared. It's very striking," he said. In a stunning twist, the police didn't even bother to show up to help. Maybe they were off handling an equally pressing issue, like making sure the cheese carts were adequately stocked or guarding the city's famed stroopwafels. But let's not pretend the Maccabi supporters were all innocent here either. Just a few days prior, the team's fans treated Amsterdam to a little preview of their own, ripping Palestinian flags off street signs and houses, chanting charming phrases like "Death to Arabs." Stickers of IDF soldiers were also slapped around the capital, in case anyone missed the point. This pre-game warm-up was clearly just Amsterdam's version of pep rally. Councilman J.Z. Veldhuizen was quick to chime in, pointing fingers squarely at the pro-Israel crowd. They started it, he told Al Jazeera, explaining that Maccabi fans had been attacking homes with Palestinian flags, sparking the local counter-attack. To be fair, what's a councilman for if not to add a heaping dose of blame to an already messy situation? According to him, the police eventually graced the scene with their presence, but only after the pro-Israelis had attacked people and fled. The Amsterdam police force, it seems, has perfected the art of arriving fashionably late. I mean, surely it's a unanimously agreed upon fact that if you rip off a flag, then you deserve a nasty beating.
Burn that shit! Burn that shit! Burn that shit!
No, not that video. Sorry, you only deserve beating if you're a Jew. Sorry, my bad. The aftermath back home in Israel was also swift. A plane was dispatched to retrieve the Israelis who had survived this grand Amsterdam welcome, with Prime Minister Netanyahu's office organizing both a private flight and commercial options. Furthermore, members of the Israeli military have been banned indefinitely from setting foot in the Netherlands. Apparently because Dutch authorities, noting Israel's strong response to terrorism against its citizens, thought they might also be targeted by Israel. This was such a ridiculous take that I had to look up who this Councilman J.Z. Veldhuizen is. So are you ready? This is Councilman J.Z. Veldhuizen. Clearly a Hamas simp Wokistani. No surprises there. Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof did take a moment to address the situation. I feel ashamed about what happened in the Netherlands. It has been a dreadful night. The Dutch king also came in and said, we failed the Jewish people back in the 40s and we failed the Jews today. But as we all know, shame alone is a powerful antidote to mob violence. Who needs preventative measures or consequences when you have regret? In the midst of all this, Geert Wilders, founder of the Party for Freedom, hopped on Twitter to express his outrage, claiming Amsterdam has now officially become the Gaza of Europe. Muslims with Palestinian flags hunting down Jews, he tweeted. He vowed that he would not accept that. Never. Well, thank goodness for Twitter declarations, the ultimate crime deterrent. Just imagine the Islamists are trembling in fear now that Dutch politicians have tweeted about their nefarious activities. For those needing a little historical perspective, anti-Semitism in the Netherlands is far from new. Despite the country's enduring myth of anti-Nazi heroics and widespread Jewish resistance, the numbers tell a bleaker story. 75% of Dutch Jews perished in the Holocaust, yet a myth persists that the Netherlands collectively took a heroic stand. Retired criminology professor Frank Bovenkerk notes that for years, the Dutch were busy congratulating themselves on their heroic stance in protecting Jewish citizens. Sure, they were congratulating themselves, while also deciding it was time for the Jews to start showing gratitude. And who could forget the charming reception that awaited Holocaust survivors when they returned home? The Dutch had apparently been expecting a round of applause from the Jewish survivors. A local magazine at the time, Die Patriot, helpfully reminded Jewish citizens to remember how thankful they ought to feel, and that it is also possible to lose sympathy. Of course, nothing inspires gratitude quite like a nice dollop of public condescension. Meanwhile, anti-Semitism has been staging a solid comeback in recent months, likely taking notes from vintage hate-mongering manuals. The Center for Information and Documentation Israel, a local watchdog, reported an impressive 245% increase in anti-Semitic incidents in 2023 alone, outpacing the previous decade with ease. Well, although I can't see any Nazis in the Netherlands anymore, I wonder who is contributing to the rise of anti-Semitism. Surely it has nothing to do with the burgeoning population of Islamists. The CIDI report suggests that online harassment, a thriving modern sport, has played a large role in this spike. And naturally, soccer matches seem to be the perfect breeding ground for such sentiments because apparently kicking a ball around and hating Jews go hand in hand. In their report, CIDI put forth a few hopeful suggestions to stem the rising tide of anti-Semitism. They propose mandatory Holocaust education, an increase in police involvement, which frankly speaking, I don't think either of these two things are going to work. Muslims just deny the Holocaust, and the state of the current Western police institutions, I don't think Muslims fear them at all. They may as well suggest that at this point a friendly notice at stadiums seems necessary. Please refrain from violence and targeting individuals based on religion. Let's keep the hate for the opposing team only. Thank you. So what's next for Amsterdam? The land of tolerance. Well, since the police have made 0 arrests and the Amsterdam councilman has thrown his support behind the Islamists rather than the victims, Islamists have become emboldened, throwing his beloved Amsterdam into chaos once again. This mini riot started right after a night of Jew hunting following their football match, where Islamists were heard chanting Kanker Joden, which means cancer Jews. What do you expect will happen when you let violent offenders go free like that? Anyway, I hope you liked today's video. I'm sorry about the blurring of some of the videos because, as I said, YouTube doesn't like them. But the good news is you can become a member or a patron where no monetization restrictions apply. Or you can help me produce more quality content by heading over to harrysalt.com and get yourself a cool t-shirt or hoodie. If not, just a like and share will do. Until next time, ta-da. If you'd like to support my work, you can become my patron by going to patreon.com/HarusSultan, or you can simply buy me a coffee.